In this video, I'm going to be talking exclusively about a very important change that is going to happen this year in May, and that is Uranus is going to be changing signs from Aries, where it spent the last 7 years, into Taurus, where it will stay for the next 7 years. So why is this important? Well, mainly because Uranus, it's a very slow moving planet. It spends 7 years in a sign. So the next time Uranus is going to be in the same sign is going to be in 84 years from now. So it is very unlikely that it will happen again in our lifetime. So whatever is going to happen now, in whatever house Uranus is going to be transiting for you, that will be unique in your life. It will happen now. It will make a lot of changes. It will shake you up in a lot of ways, but it is very unique. It is going to happen now. You're going to learn your lesson. You're going to grow and evolve, and then you're going to be able to take the next step in your life and worry about something else. As I've mentioned before, Uranus will be the impacts that Uranus will have on you will depend on the house that is transiting. The position of Uranus in a particular house adds an interesting flavor to the areas of stages of life associated with that house. Uranus is a liberator. It wants us to break free from our structure, from the old structure, from our limitations, even that we maybe sometimes impose on ourselves. And its purpose is evolution. It wants you to experiment, and it wants you to grow. Although Uranus can, sometimes be in a reaction mode, it will motivate us. By house, the position of Uranus shows where individuals look to stir things up, put a new spin on the situation, and go against the establishment. Uranus, the planet of change, the liberator, is going into Taurus, the sign that rules our finances and possessions, and it will trigger a lot of changes. It can be unexpected, it can be sudden, it can be shocking, and it will happen for the next 6-7 years of our lives. Uranus, what it does, it forces us to get rid of the old in useless mentality or situation or relation, and start with original ideas. Be creative, and most importantly, be yourself. The breakthroughs in the area that Uranus is going to be transiting, in the area of your life, when they are positively expected, will be very deep. It will change your life forever. When you will look back in the 7 years from now, and even now you can do an exercise to see, depending on where Uranus was for the past 7 years in your life, look back and see what are the changes that happened there, and can you actually imagine now your life, imagine to live your life any different from the point that you are now on. So it will be like, you don't want, and you will not, even do not see yourself going back to the old ways of doing things. Now with Taurus, it can be more about money and possessions. That may be new and liberating ideas about how to change your standard of living, how to get, a new or more cars and a house or a job, start a business, It will make you change the way you think, change your mentality about those things, about how you approach your job, your business, your finances in general. Also, there will be a period this year, actually, immediately a couple of months after Uranus goes into Aries, into Taurus, when it will go retrograde. It will happen in August, and then it will actually move back into the sign of Aries in November, and it will last until March of next year, 2019, when it will finally start going direct again. It will be in the sign of Taurus. What does it mean when Uranus goes retrograde? Well, as I've mentioned, it is a time of changing, when the energy and when changing energy of Uranus will shake us out of our control zone, change us from inside out. That is when the changes happen, mostly when Uranus goes retrograde. So it is very important to pay attention when that happens. But it is also a time where the universe comes and says, it takes you from the old path, and from the path that you're in, tells you you are not supposed to be here, and it will put you on the path that you're supposed to be. So from this perspective, I would say that Uranus will bring fated events. It will put you back where you were fated to be, or with whom you're fated to be. And it can go in many ways, but it can be that you either realize this change that is about to come because you felt it from a very long time, and then you go ahead and you do the change, as much as it shocks you or it shocks the people around you. Or it can be that you're trying to not accept the change, and that is when the changes are practically forced upon us, when we don't see that now it's time to change it. And as shocking as it can be, we shouldn't see it as something detrimental. It's more like tough love, the universe putting us back on the right track. From November until March, Uranus will go back into Aries, trying to shake up for the last time in those 7 years that have passed any loose patterns there, or things that haven't been quite settled. So that would be in general how Uranus will be impacting, on a general level. But now I'm going to look at every sign, and we'll see, and we'll let you know, and we'll discuss about where Uranus is actually transiting, what house, what area of your life will Uranus be impacting the most in this next 7 years. For you, Aquarius, Uranus is entering the sign of Taurus in your 4th house of home and family. It will affect your home life, your emotions, your subconscious. It could, maybe affect your relationship with your parents, affecting as in, change. For those of you who have your ascendant in Aquarius, and maybe your sun or moon, Uranus is your natural ruler, so you will probably embrace and feel quite content with all the changes that are about to come in your home and family life. And maybe a relationship with your parents. There will be a lot of ups and downs for the next 7 years, and they will all revolve around your home and family. You can maybe find new creative ways of saving money or making money in order to buy your family home or change your family home, maybe get married, start a new family of your own. It is about evolution and progress. And this is your time to spend time and money in this sector of life. You can start new business ventures with your family, maybe, or start your own business that will give you an opportunity to focus more on family and your house. Whatever the status quo at the moment, Uranus will bring about change, will make you want to set free from whatever, and take a new, bigger, and bolder steps in this area of your life. Evolve and grow. Take the next step. Your finances and material possession will be interlinked or hand in hand with the changes happening in your house of home and family, given that Taurus rules finances and possessions. For you, Aquarius, Uranus will be moving back into your third house for the last time now in the next 84 years or so. So you can expect things to be shaken up and, provoke some change in relation to communication and knowledge and practically your immediate environment, which is, see your siblings, your neighbors, short journeys. The third house also includes the intellect, the lower mind, your thinking patterns, early education, so that is before college, and communication practically is everything. So it's, it can even include messages and deliveries and gossip, phone calls, visits, reading and writing. So I hope you've enjoyed this video and the predictions for Uranus changing signs from Aries into Taurus, the sign that rules our finances and possessions. Long story short, when Uranus, because Uranus is changing signs into the sign of Taurus, and that has happened 84 years ago, the last time it has happened, there will be a lot of focus on our finances and possession, and worldwide there will suddenly be a focus on humanity's possessions and resources, and that will definitely have a huge great impact on us. So I would say that the general theme would be that, and then particularly for each and every one of us, there will be a more personal theme, and that will be about the house, the area of our life that will be mostly impacted would be the house that Uranus is transiting for each and every one of us. And then, now this is the general prediction. For if you want a more personal prediction, well, the way we are impacted, or the times that our horoscopes are actually activated, depend a lot on the position of the planets at the time of our birth. And you can find out what positions, what those positions were, by going online, and into any birth chart calculator, putting your date of birth and time of birth, hour and minute. It's very important. That will give you not only your sun sign but also your ascendant sign, your moon sign, which is also very important because it talks a lot about our emotions and about our feelings and about who we actually are. But also the other planets, Venus, Mercury, Mars, what were their positions at the time of your birth? Now, depending on those positions, so the degrees and the signs that were in, or the houses that they were transiting at that time, they will be making on certain times aspects to the current position of the planets. And when those aspects happen, that is when we are activated, so to speak. That is when things happen for us, good or bad. There are positive aspects, there are negative aspects, there are planets going direct, there are planets going retrograde, and all that will be impacting us. Now, just to give you an example of how the personal horoscope works, in my case, so let's say I am a Libra ascendant, so that for me means that Uranus will be going into my 8th house of joint resources. So that will be the theme for me for the next 7 years. There will be loads of ups and downs in that area of my life, but just to keep in mind that they will all happen, so that eventually at the end of this period I will be in a better position. So that for me actually indicates a lot, that even though sometimes there will be shocks and changes and things that I don't want to give up, or I'm too comfortable with, or all that, they will happen, but that will probably put me in a more independent position. Now, so that's Uranus going. Now, my natal planets, say my Jupiter, because my Jupiter was in my first house at the time of my birth at around 0 degrees. So then we'll probably doing a lot of aspects with the current position of Uranus, because he now in this May or June, July, so this very month that Uranus is entering Taurus. So my Jupiter in my first house, Uranus in the 8th, the same degrees. That will be the month of May, more exactly around 5th of May, and then again 24th of May, and then 15th of June. My planets kind of align at the same degrees, and the aspect will be a quincus aspect to my natal Jupiter. That's what Uranus is going to do. Now, that is a difficult aspect. So what that tells me is that my life will take sudden and unexpected twists in these periods of time, and I will be challenged, to go forward and, without looking back. But at the same time, because my Jupiter in my first house of beginnings, and Jupiter being the planet of expansion and growth, I will have as well new possibilities. So as bad as things look, there will actually be doors opening as well, new opportunities that will hold a certain amount of excitement. But again, I may be disturbed by the rapid changes of circumstances that will happen, and just because I'm so used to the how things are, and I don't want to change, I'm very comfortable in that position, I may not want to change. Well, this aspect is telling me that I need to embrace the change, because I will benefit from the change. I have there Jupiter, so the aspect is with Jupiter, the planet of expansion, so there will definitely be benefits in that area, in the area of new beginnings and self. So it will all be about me. And again, 8th house joint resources. So now, obviously, this is just one aspect happening in that day, and a couple of months before and after. But then you have to look at the entire picture. You have to look and see what is the position of the other planets at this time, and what aspects are they also making with my natal planets, and that will actually give you a bigger picture. And obviously, knowing how the situation is in my life, that will also kind of give me an idea of what is about to happen. So that is how your personal horoscope works, and that is kind of what you need to look at. So if you would like to know more about that, please visit my site, rheaastrology.com. I put a link down here. You can learn more, you can see more, and you can order your personal horoscope if that is what you want. So thank you very much for watching. I will see you next month with new and exciting predictions.